Good morning, friends. It's Amy coming at you for my week 16 post-op update. Today is June the 30th, 2016. I had my surgery on March 10th, 2016 at Rex Hospital in Raleigh, North Carolina. My surgeon was Dr. Michael Tyner of Bariatric Specialists of North Carolina. The procedure that I had is SIPS or SADI, also known as Loop DS, Biliopancreatic Diversion with the Duodenal Switch. So essentially I had two components to my surgery, one of which was the standard VSG where they removed 2/3 of my stomach, and the secondary component was they removed a portion of my small intestines, so that way there's a malabsorptive component as well. So as I mentioned, today is June 30th. It's actually today is my husband's birthday. And I'm not sure if you can see back there in the corner is his birthday present. And no, you were not mistaken. Those are candy canes all over that box because I didn't have any non-Christmas wrapping paper big enough to fit that box. So I'm sure he'll be fine with it. He's in the next room, so I don't want to give it away too much, but for his birthday, I got him an air fryer. I'm not sure if you know what those are, but they're essentially, it's a cooking device in which you can fry foods, but you fry them in a healthy manner. You don't actually submerge them in oil like you do with the deep fat fryer. You actually add, I think, a couple of tablespoons of oil, and the air, it does something like conductive heat, and it circulates inside the chamber where the food is, and you essentially fry food with very minimal oil. So it's I suppose it's a much healthier version. Of course, we like fried food. Who doesn't like fried food? And he's trying to be healthier too. And he's always talked about getting one. So I got him one, and we'll try it, and I'll let you know how it goes. Okay. So, weight stats. So highest weight ever was 401 pounds, and that was the beginning of my pre-op diet. The last time I came at you guys was a little more than a week ago. It was before my Vegas trip, which we'll get into in a little bit. My surgery weight, first of all, I'm sorry, was 379. My weight, last time I checked in with you, was 308.6. And this morning, I am 301.8. So since my last update, I'm down 6.8 pounds. Since surgery, I'm down 77.2. And since my highest weight, I am down 99.2. 99.2. I'm almost at 100. That's not to diminish how far I've come, don't get me wrong. 99.2 is great, and I'm really, really happy with that. I'm over the moon about it. It'll be awesome when I get to 100, though. And I'm close. I'm very, very close. So I'm just not there. I just can't round up quite yet, but hopefully by next week's update, I will. Okay, so let's talk about a few different things. Number one is yesterday I went to my optometrist, and I had them fix my glasses. I'm sure you guys noticed I was always pushing up my glasses since I lost a lot of weight, a lot of it in my face. My glasses were always slipping down. In fact, I was having friends tell me, they're like, "Are you okay? Because you're pushing up your glasses. You need to get those checked out." And I didn't realize that they could do this at the optometrist's office, but they have a tool in which they heat the arms of it, or they do something to it, and then it's a lot snugger now. So they used to fall over me. Now they're quite snug. So that's really, really good because it was getting super annoying and I didn't want to have to buy new glasses. I just didn't know that technology existed. So that's awesome. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about my Vegas trip. For those of you who might not know, I've been talking about it before in my previous videos, but last week I went to Las Vegas for about 4 days with my husband and some friends of ours. My husband, actually, he's a poker player. Not a professional poker player, don't get me wrong. That's one of his hobbies. And so he went there and he registered for one of the World Series of Poker events that they had at the Rio. It was like a 4-day event. And so we went there to do that. And then we went with some friends because he was off playing poker, presumably the whole time, if we were lucky. So I wasn't going to be able to spend much time with him because he's there for like 12 hours a day. It's a long time. And then, he'd come home and tell me all about it. But anyway, we went with a bunch of friends. By the way, my husband actually did really well. Out of 7,000 people, he made it to 866. And so I think he ended up winning about $2,400. It cost him $1,500 to buy in, but he ended up winning. And so he was really, really happy about that. So he's already said that part of the winnings that he won, he's going to save for next year, so we're going back. Okay, I'll go through. There's so many things that I want to talk about. I'm just trying to organize my thoughts a little bit. Huge NSV for me. And this was one of the ones that before, when I was pre-op, this is one of the goals that I had. And I met that goal when I was on my trip. So we're at the airport here in Raleigh, and we got on the airplane and have our seatbelt extenders. And I was like, well, let's just see how close I am. I have an idea of how close I was before, how close, I was able to buckle it, or how much of the seatbelt extender I needed. But I buckled it, it clicked, and I didn't need a seatbelt extender, which is a huge NSV for me. It's been a very long time since I haven't needed one. Excuse me. So I got emotional. I think I posted it on Facebook. I did. I think I wanted to shout it from the rooftops, as a matter of fact. But I was crying. Not like boo-hoo, like watch these tears pour down my face, but I had some tears in my eyes. It was very emotional. I was very proud of myself. And even talking about it now, I'm starting to remember. But I called my mom from the airplane, like 7 in the morning, and she's like, honey, what's wrong? I know your plane's supposed to leave now. Is there something wrong? You guys not going? Was it canceled? Is Scott okay? Are you okay? And I was like, Mom, I don't need a seatbelt extender anymore. And so she laughed. She's like, oh, honey, that's so good. And she was really proud of me, and it just felt really, really nice. So that was a big, big NSV for me, I'm sure, and there's many more to come. So Vegas, I guess an NSV for me was, I did a good deal of walking while I was there. Keep in mind, it was Vegas, and it was like 110, 111 degrees there outside. But of course, I spent a lot of time inside. The first day I was there, I tracked just over 10,000 steps, which is good. I've never hit 10,000 before, and I know that's what the doctors recommend, and that's what the WHO recommends as well, is try to get a minimum of 10,000 steps in a day. But I'd never done it before. I just wasn't there. The first day I hit just over 10,000. I think the next day I hit around 11,000. And the last full day that we had, I hit 13,000, which is kind of a big deal for me. Like, once again, it was an NSV. I'd never been able to hit that much, and I wasn't exhausted. I will say by the end of the day, like, I was glad to take my shoes off because my feet hurt a little bit. But the next day, man, I got up and I hit it. It wasn't like I was in traction for the next day or anything, but it felt good. It felt good to walk. I did some window shopping, and it was nice. So like I said, the majority of the time I did a lot of walking inside. I did do some walking outside. And you know what's really cool about Vegas is that even though it's super hot, it's very, very dry. Very, very dry. So one day we were gonna go walk on the strip, and it was like 110 degrees, and I straightened my hair. Obviously not like today. Jeez. I straightened my hair, and they have these big round fan misters that shoot like cold mist into the air. And I was like, oh crap, I just straightened my hair. My hair's gonna get all frizzy and all that. No, I was wrong. So this cold air, or this moisture, this water comes out of these fans as people are walking by. But as soon as that water hits the dry, arid air, it evaporates. So you're just left with a little bit of a cooling sensation. So you walk through it. It only lasts like a minute. I wish it was a minute. Like a second or two. But it's just this blast of kind of cool air. It's not wet like you would think with this mist that's blasting you in the face. It's just cool air. And like I said, it only lasts for a second, but let me tell you, it is nice. So that was really cool. And I suppose I never really experienced that before, because I never really walked a whole lot on the strip. Not up and down the whole strip, but we did quite a bit of walking, and so that was really nice. We went over to the Miracle Mile shops, so it's like it's kind of like a shopping mall, and it's over a mile long, and so we just, me and my friend, we just kind of walked through it, and when we were done, we're like, that was really fast. Are we done already? That was over a mile. So, just walking more, which is cool, really cool. Eating. So I was able to get in all my protein while I was there. It was kind of difficult. I didn't eat nearly as well as I do when I'm here at the house, of course. When you're away, you're eating out at restaurants a whole lot, and you guys know that restaurants don't have, the best options. But I was able to pick some good things. I didn't eat as frequently as I would when I was here. For example, I didn't have, you know, my breakfast and then morning snack and then lunch, afternoon snack, and then dinner. You know, I typically eat very, very small portions throughout the day. So, but there I only really ate, I had breakfast. We had the buffet in the morning, and I had 2 eggs, and maybe half a piece or 3/4 of a piece of toast, and maybe some bacon or sausage or something. And then I wouldn't eat until, you know, lunchtime. Or sometimes we'd have a late lunch and then we'd have a late dinner. So I just didn't eat as frequently as I probably should have. But when I did eat, I probably certainly ate more calories. I probably ate more carbs than I normally would have. But I wasn't necessarily counting carbs. I was exercising a whole lot more, so I felt good about it. I was trying to eat proper things. Like, for example, I'd get, like, you know, a salad with chicken, and I'd eat the chicken first. And I get the rest dressing on the side, so I could just dip the pieces of chicken in that. And then, you know, I'd eat the stuff too. But I always try to order something that I could probably eat a little bit later, because the portions that I eat are just so darn small. I did a couple of times. I ordered Korean short ribs, which were delicious. So I got my protein in. I feel good about that. I did eat more carbs, but I was exercising more than I normally would have. I brought a whole bunch of protein powders with me, thinking, you know, didn't know what options were going to be there, but I did find some protein drinks, some muscle milk, and while I was there, so I drank those, you know, for an easy 23 to 30 grams of protein a day. So I feel good about that. In terms of water, I got in my 64 ounces every day. Sometimes it was tight. It was really close. Alcohol. I did drink some alcohol. I'll tell you right now, I drank some alcohol. Over the course of our 4 days there, I think I ordered 3 or 4 drinks. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with casinos or Las Vegas, but they, you know, the drinks that they give you, they're not like, you know, full-size cups. They're smaller serving sizes, and they've got, you know, ice in them too. So the drink of choice that I had picked was Bloody Marys, because I didn't want carbonation and I didn't want a whole lot of sugar, of course. So, you know, I thought about doing like vodka, Diet Coke, but I didn't want the carbonation. So it was either that or a red wine. And let me just tell you, it was too hot for a red wine. I wanted something cool, and so that's why I got Bloody Marys, because I wanted the olives too. So I never finished one. I never finished a whole Bloody Mary, because once I got about halfway through, I started feeling the effects of the alcohol, so I would just stop. And it was really important that every time I did order a drink, I ordered a bottle of water. I asked the cocktail waitress for water too, and they give you just, like, it's not a big bottle of water, it's like 12 ounces, but, so I would drink about half of the Bloody Mary, which is probably, I don't know, 4 ounces, and then I would stop drinking. As soon as I started feeling the effect of the alcohol, I would stop drinking, and then I would polish off that bottle of water that they gave me. So it was okay. I didn't feel that, of course it would have been nice if I could get tipsy, but it's too soon for me. So I wanted to drink and partake and have something to hold and be part of the Vegas experience, but I didn't let it become overwhelming or, you know, too much excess, right? I've lived a life of excess, so I'm just trying to control that now. Speaking of life of excess, smoking. So that was tough. There was a lot of smokers there, and I bought smokes. And I smoked them. I smoked smokes. I smoked some cigarettes. When I took my drag of my first one, I was not like, oh baby, that's awesome. It's lost its appeal for me, which is good, right? I mean, it's just lost its appeal. In fact, I found that when I was at the slot machines and I would light a cigarette, like I'd take a drag, and I was like, that's okay. It feels familiar, but it's lost its luster for me. So I found that I was just sitting there holding a lit cigarette while I was gambling, like hitting the slot machine. And it felt good just to sit there and hold it, but I didn't actually want to smoke it. So I feel like I have no desire, now that I'm back home, to smoke. I still feel really strong about it. So I think it's okay. I mean, it was a pretty risky move. I could have really fallen down that rabbit hole, but I don't know. I didn't, and I'm grateful for that. So I feel like I've kind of got it out of my system, which is good. So like I said, so today's Thursday. We got back on Monday night, so I'm just kind of catching up with work. I had a lot of work to get back to. I can kind of see it on my computer in the corner of my eye. I've got to get back to work pretty soon, but I'm so eager to come to you guys and talk to you and give you an update. I appreciate everything, all of your kind words and your support. You've been super awesome. I want to give it a shout out to my boy Alex in Fuquay. For those of you who know Alex or follow Alex, Turbonetic, I believe, 77 or something like that. I don't remember your screen name, Alex, because I call you Alex all the time. He had a surgery almost 2 weeks ago, and he had the same procedure as me, except he had terrible complications. He almost died. During the surgery, right after the surgery, he developed a kink in his intestines and then a leak, and then they had to take him in for an emergency surgery, and his lungs collapsed. Like, his body just couldn't tolerate the surgery, but don't worry, he's okay now. He's out of the woods, and in fact, he's been discharged. He's at home now. And so, Alex, I just want to say, I'm so glad you're okay. Hang in there. Now that you're out of the woods and the worst is behind you, it'll be worth it. You know, you'll start dropping weight, and it'll be worth it. But if there's anything that you need, just give me a holler. I hope Erica's okay. You must have given your wife Erica quite a scare, but I'm glad. I'm really glad that you're doing better. Let's see what else. We went on for about 16 and a half minutes. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about. Don't think we have a whole lot of plans this weekend for the long weekend. Oh, happy Canada Day tomorrow to my Canadian friends and family. I will be celebrating in my heart with you. And then Monday, of course, is the 4th of July. So we have it off from work. I think we have a whole lot going on. Probably hang out by the pool, do some stuff around here, just kind of hang out by home base. My husband's going to do a little bit of smoking of some meat. I asked him to smoke me a whole chicken, which then I'll take apart. He did that for me a while ago, and it was delicious. So I'll just eat it straight up. I have some delicious tomato chutney that my mother made, and I will have it with that, or I'll put it in salads, or who knows? Lots and lots of chicken. Good protein. But anyway, I guess I'll check in with you guys later, probably next week, and hopefully I will have lost 0.8 pounds, and I will have hit the 100 pounds lost mark. But I hope everybody's doing really well, and I'll catch up with you next time. Okay, bye.